We had 2 impromptu speeches, and that is not easy to do. When I first came to Toastmasters, I could hardly stand up here without my knees shaking, my stomach turning, and my hands all sweaty. And as you can see, time and practice and consistency and being tenacious and staying with this organization will really benefit and profit us. This morning, I'd like to give, because we have some new people with us today. Oh, we even have Bao. Thank you, Bao, for coming back. Glad to see you. We have a lot of new people here. I'd like to share a little bit before I go into my presentation about Toastmasters and give you a little history. Toastmasters have been around for about 102 years. Ken, were you there at the beginning?
Before.
And maybe Shirley as well. So the program that has been used is quite old. And last year they decided they were going to do a transition and probably capture a new audience, because today's Toastmasters, today people are on the computer. Today, people like to do things on the internet, and that is exactly what has happened. We have transitioned, and we're in the process of transitioning. So currently, there are 2 programs that exist. Some of us here are on the old program. Some of us have already begun the new program, and that's called Pathways, and that is all on the internet. So for those of you who are joining, or those of you who are considering it, this will be how you will do all your presentations. You will be doing them online. But let me tell you, give you a little history. And I'll start by showing you these 2 slides that I created. In the past, there were what we called 2 tracks. It's like a train. And you've got one track going this way, one track going the same way, but they're side by side. So the first track is called the communication track. And the communication track starts with us doing 1 manual. And I brought some manuals here to show. This one is how we used to do it. We would get this manual, and there's 10 speeches in here. You would do every speech, get an evaluation for every speech, complete it, and get your CC. As you can see, the first one there is the advanced communication. You can see right after the old tennis shoe. That's not my tennis shoe, but then you go on and you do another 10 manuals, and there were a lot of manuals to choose from. Here's one, for example, and they're called advanced manuals. So there's 5 in each manual, so you do 5 and 5, and you get your 10, and you will then receive your bronze, advanced communication bronze. You do the same for your silver, another 10. You do another one to get your gold, and the gold you have completed 40 speeches by the time you get your advanced communication gold, which I have done, and others in our group have done. Okay, then there's the leadership track. The leadership track kind of takes the same path, but this one, you're focusing more on presentations that have to do with leadership, not just communication. So on the leadership track, you do your first one, you receive your competent leader. And then you go on and do your bronze, your silver, and eventually you have the Distinguished Toastmaster title. We have, like Jim said, we have 1 member in our group who has accomplished this already, and that's Norberto Borceta, and I am working on getting that done as well. Okay, so with that said, there is a project that needs to get done in order to get your DTM, or Distinguished Toastmaster. We have currently until June 2020, for those of us who started on the old program, to complete it. So my goal is to complete it before June of 2020. With this project, you have to do something, of course, in the area of leadership. And this high performance leadership track is not easy. It's going to take me, I'm hoping to get it done in about 6 months. So the first thing you learn is about leadership. Now, leaders, we can realize and we can see that in history there have been many people who have become great leaders, and they were just ordinary people like you and I. And we can do a lot of things on our own, but when you have a group of ordinary people that come together, they see a problem, they decide how they're going to fix that problem, and then they take action. This is when people have a unified purpose, they can become true leaders and they can accomplish great things. So the high performance project involves a book like this, and this has a whole plan of how you will do it. And the first thing you have to do is learn what a true leader is. And we just discussed, a true leader is somebody who sees an issue, a problem, and wants to see what they can do and then work toward that goal and then take action and accomplish it. So for the leadership project, to be an effective leader, we need it's in 5 parts. There's the learning part, and that's where you learn about leadership. And then there's choosing an objective or having a vision, having a dream, and then communicating your vision. And that's all part of Toastmasters. We need to be able to communicate our vision. Many people have had things that they really wish. How many times have we said, oh, I wish this would change, or I wish this wasn't like this? But they just don't take the initiative to take action and visualizing that dream and then making a reality out of it. So you have to be able to sell that vision to others. You have to be able to communicate it in a way that it becomes something that they believe in also, and they're willing to work with you on it. Then you have to settle down and work the plan. You have to strategize. You have to review it, rethink it, and continue to revise it as you are preparing to plan it. This is all a part of this high performance project. And then after you take the action, you have to actually come back and present your results. And I would have to do that to all the members of the group. So to lead and to serve, there are 6 major dimensions of leading and serving. You have to have a vision and you have to have values. You have to have a direction. You need to be persuasive, be able to persuade others regarding your vision. You have to be supportive and help the people that are helping you. Encourage them to be creative and to be able to be a leader who can set priorities and make sure that your team is working in the right direction. And then you have to have appreciation. Appreciation means you thank people for being on your team, you motivate them, you recognize all the positive things that they do. Okay, so I'm going to now touch the high performance project that I am thinking of doing. It has to be a thing that's a worthy project, and you have to recruit a guidance committee. So I will need some people to help me, and I have some people in mind who will be helping me. We have to come together at least 5 times and at least for 1 hour. And then we will have to do a lot of discussion and work together. Okay, you need to write a vision statement. So this is what I came up with last night. My vision is to provide some basic interpersonal communication skill training to a woman's home that is in the Fullerton community that is currently housing women who are seeking refuge from abusive relationships and or recovery from alcohol and addiction. This is my vision. I have met some of these women and my heart goes out to them. And I just am praying that their life will continue in the direction that they're going. And I think one of the things that's very critical is to be able to communicate your thoughts and your ideas. My mission statement: to help women who lacked opportunity to learn good communication skills, to develop and practice interpersonal communication techniques through Toastmasters program that will foster a genuine taste for well speaking. Skills that could be useful in preparing them for job seeking or job searching, and to help them in their practical and daily life and interpersonal relationships. This is my project. I hope that some of you will be interested. I have some people that are. If you are, there is a workbook. Those who would work with me would have a workbook like this, and we would meet together. And I'm very excited about the project, and I am excited to tell you about it, and I'm excited to see where I could go with it. This is the first time I do this, so I'm sure it's going to be a learning experience. And I know, Bert, that there are some people that have 5, 6, 7, 8 DTNs. So that many times they've done projects. I don't know if I'll get that far. I'll be happy to get this one done. And I will be tenacious.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.